Waiting for the referees to be announced. The referees, first referee there, Darren Grimsey, very experienced Australian referee, but today I'm sure he'll be very fair. I love the way the Aussies and the Americans really confident in their pre-match interview. It's never easy to be interviewed just before you go out there, but Nikki Laird putting it out there saying, well, we've done it before, we can do it again. And of course, all the fans here will be hoping that that is the case. And you see the Americans there. This time the Americans are in the yellow. Kristen Nuss coming out first. Kristen, being the taller of the two, will be doing most of the blocking. Oh, sorry, she'll be doing most of the defending. Her partner here, Taryn Kloth, will be doing the blocking, and you'll see the height difference here. Some teams have similar heights and they split the block and the defence. This team is obviously going to have one blocker and one defender, and so do the Aussies.
A 2022 Australian champion from Manly Beach, Sydney, New South Wales. Please welcome Laird.
Fellow Manly Beach, New South Wales player there, Nikki Laird, blocker in the team. Here comes her partner Phoebe, Queenslander. Comes from a family of volleyball players. And Phoebe will be doing most of the defence in this combination, although in the past she has been a blocker. She'll be playing defence, and she's got a great big block behind, or that she can play behind, in Nikki Laird. So the US start off this match. Kristen with the ball. Welcome back, Jonathan. That was a long run from the sands down there.
I need the steps. I think anyone who knows me knows that for a fact. We are underway, the gold medal match. Gosh, I'm excited about this, Kerry. The game of Bell and Laird has got better and better, but this team from America, Taryn and Kristen, as I think I can now call them, I feel like they're my new best friends. They've been absolutely rock solid, so this is a really interesting matchup. I really don't know which way this is going to go.
Yeah, well, I spoke to the Australian coach, Margot, before the match, and they certainly seem confident. They're going to put it all out on the line. They know that there's nothing to be left out there. There's nothing to be thought later, you know, we should have, would have, could have. After losing to this team earlier, they're definitely going to be hungry. And in a sense, I think the USA are the underdogs.
Oh, but they'll take every one of those they can get. Hello and welcome wherever you're watching, all around either SBS in Australia or over in Chicago in the States or in Europe, or there are people tuned into this broadcast seeing these beautiful pictures of the beach of Coolangatta all around the world. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. I'm Jonathan Fogarty. What a privilege to be sitting beside Kerry Pothast as we watch the gold medal match get underway. Australia in the green, US in the yellow. Nice slicing and dicing. We've seen that a lot from Kristen Nuss, the shorter of the two athletes, Kerry, as you said, but she's got a lot of different skills, a lot of different shots, and the ability to have a little peek away from the ball, see where the defence is and put the ball somewhere else. So have to keep an eye on the industrious Kristen Nuss.
Well, that was an interesting serve there. I totally missed that one off the side of her hand, Taryn, but she'll be back to receive serve here, possibly from Nikki Laird. And she does quite easily. Big bang, nice defence from Australia. Over the top, Nikki Laird. Great point, Australia.
Wow.
So really going after the bigger of the two US athletes. Nikki Laird can match it with height there.
And that's really interesting play, Kerry, because what Nikki hasn't been doing all tournament is taking the bait and hitting the second ball. She's been faithful in turning and setting Phoebe. She's really, really intentional about it. I think that's the first time I can remember where she's hit a second ball that wasn't in an emergency situation. So already a subtle change, perhaps, in the offensive plan.
Nice swing, easily dug by Phoebe Bell. Great set from Laird. And Bell does what she does super, super well, and that's when she's off the net, she hits that ball directly through the middle of the court, making it really difficult for the opposition. You see she gets the ball, it's off the net a little bit, fast. Beautifully taken.
Nuss diving despairingly, can't get a touch on it. So 5-3, a bright start, both teams. Bell and Laird haven't been the best starters. I don't think that's an unfair criticism. They've been a bit slow out of the blocks in some of their games, but they've fought really, really hard. And they've got all the way through to the gold medal match. Nikki Laird carrying a bit of a foot injury. She did a nasty injury to her foot in one of the earlier games. Has got it pretty heavily strapped. She's had the physio and the podiatrist working on it furiously for the last 24 hours. She's fit to play, and that's the main thing. And once you get into a gold medal match, Kerry, there's no excuses, is there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They know she's injured. They've just got to forget about that. She doesn't look like she's injured. She's jumping, moving around well. She won't feel that until tonight at about probably 7 or 8 p.m.
Oh, well, she'll have a medal around her neck, whatever happens, but we don't know what colour. Nice blocking. Taryn Kloth, the Crichton University product. Hope she's got plenty of friends and family back in the States watching the coverage. Hope you're enjoying it. What a privilege it is to bring you these scenes. The Gold Coast Futures event, part of the Beach Pro Tour, and good service pressure. So a little 2-point breakaway from the US combination. The number 16 seeds, I talked in the pre-match, Kerry, about these ladies having to come through qualifying. They had no World Tour points, so they had to play qualifying matches. They went into the pool against the number 1 seeds, beat them. They went into the round of 12, the quarterfinals, semi-finals. No one has beaten Taryn and Kristen yet this weekend. They are the form team and clearly the favourites for mine.
Yeah, sometimes that can go against you though, Jonathan. You know, everybody's kind of gunning to take you down, and they've got the crowd behind them, the Aussies. Not a huge crowd. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the stadium up as we normally would here for some of our big events. We lost part of the beach about 2 weeks ago, so it has come back nicely, but luckily we were able to put all the courts all the way down the coast.
Yeah, it looks magnificent. The age of big stadiums is coming back. The age of international volleyball is nearly back. The sport will return to its splendour, I'm sure. Great to see it at the Tokyo Olympics a few months ago, but again, no crowds in the stands. So beach volleyball without passionate, screaming fans. It's like wine without cheese. Strangely unsatisfying.
Well, these players will have to cheer for themselves in their own heads, just like they did in Tokyo.
Nikki Laird a second bite of this cherry, but Phoebe Bell says, you know what, I see an opportunity, I'm going to take it. Really impressed with how Phoebe's game has really matured before my eyes this whole week. She's got better and better. She's become the senior player in this combination.
Absolutely agree with you, Jonathan. I was talking to her earlier and you know, giving her some kudos, saying how she just steps up just like that to make the points. Nikki's been getting a lot of the ball. She's being served a lot, so Phoebe's having to do a bit extra. So good serves. She's been very consistent with her serves, rarely making errors. So keeping the pressure on the other team. Sometimes it looks so easy, and people who perhaps haven't watched a lot of beach volleyball wonder why players can serve the ball out or into the net, but they are going for a particular strategy. That was nicely taken. And nice little cut shot. Taryn Kloth comes in like she's going to hit it and just taps it down across the net. Makes it look so easy.
That's been her go-to play a lot this weekend. I've seen Taryn do that a lot of times from off the net. She's a very tall lady. I think she's about 6'3". Off the top of my head, can't land the serve though. So an arm wrestle here, the women's gold medal match. USA against Australia. This is Nikki Laird. Tall lady herself at 191 centimetres. I think it's close to 6'5". High line, no angle, but Phoebe had already committed. The legs were going line. The body wanted to stay cross court. She couldn't get any purchase on the ball whatsoever.
Really gets her body nicely behind the ball on the pass as well, Taryn Kloth, for a taller lady.
Once again, Phoebe just taking responsibility. I think she's worked out by now that she's going to see very little serve reception. Clearly, Nikki Laird is the focus, and that's okay. It means that she's switched back over to the right-hand side for the team opening up that second ball play. We've seen them play left hand, right hand. They've mixed it up, the Aussie girls, but they seem to be back in a more traditional stance. And this blocking technique from Nikki Laird should look pretty good. Didn't get any of it. There you go.
Maybe just a little touch to help it.
Yeah, if you ask her, she'll say she got all of it, but I'm here to tell you she did not. But it doesn't matter. Point Aussies. That's a nice shot, though.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful strike on the ball Taryn Kloth has. Perfect positioning. Really hard to tell which way she's going to go with that shot.
Oh, nice block, but Nikki responds. Oh, but can't land the swing, so that's going to be out. So we're going to go to the technical timeout in the women's gold medal match. The USA combination, Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss, 11. Leading the Aussie combination of Nicole Laird and Phoebe Bell, 10 at the technical timeout. The match is evenly poised, Kerry Potter.
Well, there's nothing in this at all. Both teams playing pretty well. There's no one making a bunch of errors. It's really going to be, at this point of the match, in the middle of the match, it's just holding on to what you're doing rather than trying a little bit too much or sitting back going, okay, it's going to happen for me. Somebody has to step up a little bit and just take a couple of extra points because, of course, they need to be 2 points ahead when they reach 21.
Yeah, when they first met in the pool play, I don't think the Aussies were playing their best volleyball at that time, and they were beaten pretty comprehensively. I don't think Taryn and Kristen have got heaps better. They've been very, very consistent, but it's been a real upward trend in the volleyball of Nikki Laird and Phoebe Bell. So I think they're more evenly matched. If people might have looked online at the score when these two teams played in the pool match, I don't think that's an indication of the quality of the two teams. So this is a very even affair. 11-10, the USA with the ball. Taryn Kloth to the service line, northern end of Coolangatta Beach. Nikki Laird just ripping that ball. That's nice to see. A bit of fire from the tall lady in the Australian team.
Big angle on that, over the top. She now gets a chance to make a block, perhaps.
Great touch, Phoebe Bell. Oh, you are kidding me. That is ridiculous from Phoebe.
Everything working for Phoebe today. Jumping backwards, both players actually jumping backwards. That was a great dig. Nikki left the whole court open for Phoebe.
How does she land that on the line from there?
Practice, Jonathan.
Superhuman. She is a Wonder Woman right now. Phoebe Bell and Nikki Laird is lifted to new heights from the service line. So 13-11, Bell and Laird, the Aussies, they are the #1 seeds, but surely not the favourites. They're not the form team coming into this match. They've had really tough three-setters to get to this one. Phoebe's there, but can't quite wrap that right arm up around the ball enough. Yeah, so many three-setters for the Aussie girls. They have spent a lot of time out on the court. They've really maximised their time out there. But they're in the gold medal match, and that's all that matters. Phoebe's going to have to block on this occasion. Oh, do you mind?
She hasn't been doing much blocking at all since she partnered up with Nikki Laird, but she remembers how to block.
So I give you a hand signal and I just leap in and shut it down. Is that how it's done?
Yes.
Oh, she loved that. Normally you don't see a lot of emotion from Phoebe Bell, but that was unbridled joy. And then backs it up. Goodness me. Phoebe Bell, before our eyes, is getting better and better in this women's gold medal match and is dragging her team forward to a 15-12 scoreboard. The Aussie girls looking really nice at this end of the beach. Phoebe's there again. Oh, that's asking too much of Kristen. Well, no sign of nerves. The Aussie girls just starting to really look at home, Kerry Potter.
Yeah, really, really solid, doing what they need to do. That was a nice low set, which gave Phoebe the opportunity to hit at the retreating blocker. Hard play to make for Taryn Kloth.
Nikki's mum in the background there doing it nervously. It's hard for the parents and friends and family to watch these matches. And I'm sure back in the States, they're probably sitting around the fireplace. I know it's still not quite winter anymore in some of the parts of the US, but it's not a beautiful summer's day, I'm sure, if you're watching Taryn and Kristen. I hope you're enjoying their play all week. They've been such a delightful team to have here in Australia. They've absolutely represented the Stars and Stripes magnificently. And a little bit of that too. There's been a little bit of aggression at the net.
Now, we've talked about this in the bronze medal match. The players on the left of screen now, so that's the US there, they have the advantage of playing into the wind. So Kristen Nuss now playing into the wind. Ball moves around a little bit. Great pass from Nikki Laird, though. Easy defense. Has a look, sees it. Phoebe Bell's on that ball, but just too much topspin, driving that ball quickly to the sand.
And as we saw Kerry Pothurst in the men's match, points may be a little easier to craft from the left-hand side of the beach, the southern end of the beach into the breeze. So you see the score kind of evening up again. So the American girls then on the back of that serve lock it up at 16 points apiece. So I think it's safe to say there's a couple of extra points on this left side of the beach. It's about capitalising on it, making it really count. Taryn Kloth to the service line. We're locked up again at 16-all. First set, women's gold medal match. This is Phoebe Bell jousting the house down. Slight but fierce is Phoebe Bell. Up against a bigger, stronger athlete? Maybe not. Timing is everything.
She's been wanting one of those. She's been pushing her further and further back. Kloth really having to retreat on that, and that time thought, no, it's got to be out. Beautiful point for Australia on what we sometimes call the bad end.
18-16 now. There's some handy points at this time of the first set. That's a better play. Taryn Kloth just teeing off the block. So they'll change ends. The USA 17, Australia 18. But again, Australia will go to the more preferred end. But it's one thing for it to be the preferred end, but it's about how you execute your skills when you get there. So it is by no means a lay-down misère that you're going to win points left of screen. Look at these scenes. This is Kristen Nuss going after Nikki Laird again. Set's pretty good. Oh, and the ball off the block, and that has hit the sand in the court, so 18-all. Nikki Laird trying to wipe the ball off the blocker. Watch, the ball lands pretty much right in front of Nikki, so that's a shame. 18 points apiece, some nervous faces around the court. Phoebe has been sensational.
So confident, Phoebe Bell, going up on that one. Really steady, just drives it deep.
It just doesn't allow any pressure to build on the Australians team. That pressure release valve, hard to say, but done well by Phoebe. And then the little fakie. Can she get a ball back to Nikki Laird? Oh, can she what? That is sweet, sweet candy from Phoebe Bell, and Nikki Laird gorges herself and brings up 2 set points. Look at that set from Phoebe Bell, and Nikki athletic and powerful. And it is 2 set points in a gold medal match for the #1 seeds from Australia. Phoebe serving tough again. Can Nikki get a touch on a block perhaps? Oh, yes she can, but it's not enough.
Oh, that one almost went through her armpits. It was very low on the block. Taryn leaving it very late. Yeah, just past her arm.
1 set point saved, 19 points to 20. Set point number 2, any error from the USA, and the Aussies take the first set. They go to Phoebe Bell. They may live to regret that. Set point number 2, and they do regret it, because Phoebe Bell is untouchable right now. And the Aussies in the gold medal match have taken the first set 21-19 over Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss. And Phoebe Bell, well, that is world class.
Yeah, the Americans are probably wondering right now what happened. We took these girls so easily before. They wouldn't have realised how much more the Aussies have, I guess, gotten into their game. They travelled back from Mexico as well earlier on. So they probably were a little jet lagged when they first started. but they are firing on all cylinders right now. Looking pretty confident, looking energetic.
Well, the Australian fans breathing a little sigh of relief. Just bears mentioning that the Aussie girls lost 2-0 to this combination of Taryn and Kristen in their pool play match. But they have put that form far, far behind them, and they've won the first set in the gold medal match, 21-19. This is Kristen Nuss, 185 centimetres, the 24-year-old. They've won an AVP event, so if you're trying to get a gauge on the quality of this USA team, winning on the AVP, Kerry, is no small feat.
Yeah, absolutely. Americans have a scholarship program now in their college. So beach volleyball is one of the big sports over there, getting a lot of girls getting college scholarships from other countries as well as America. And all that's doing now is making the Americans better and better and better.
Alrighty, second set action underway. If you've just joined us, where have you been? But welcome along to the women's gold medal match, our final match for the Gold Coast Futures event, part of the Beach Volleyball Pro Tour. Some of the best athletes from all around the world here on the Gold Coast. And just to recap, in the men's gold medal match, it was gold to Australia. Isaac Carraher and Mark Nicolaides beat a very good Canadian outfit in Jake McNeil and Alex Russell. So the Aussie men will be on top of the podium. Right now, the Aussie women 1-0, but some work to do against a really sharp USA team. But that's a really sharp play. Nikki Laird, so often, Kerry, as the taller athlete, you think you should be burying that ball straight down, but deep into the corner from Nikki, that's a really good swing.
That is definitely one of her favourite hits when she's out that wide. I'd be standing there with my hands up high, and that's a real dipping serve. When you stand behind Nikki Laird, I was standing behind her in the semi-final. I was behind in the VIP area, and I was feeling how hard that ball is served, and from such a height, when she jumps and strikes, oh, that was a bit of a miss hit, but generally there was so much power behind it. I was surprised that she hadn't been making many
it's deceptive, isn't it? It's deceptive. You don't have to jump up and spike the ball with a big, heavy topspin load to be an effective server, but missing on that occasion. 3 points all. Nikki Laird again on the left side of the beach. She's going to get picked up by Kristen in good position. Oh, good read. Nikki peeled off perfectly on transition. Oh, what about that composure from the tall Taryn Kloth? Don't know what part of her hand she hit it with, but it didn't matter. It was a winner.
Strong hit. This was a good hit, nice and high and deep, but that retreat and just such composure she has.
It's a good word, isn't it? 4-3 will change ends. So Team USA to the southern end of the beach, looking into the breeze, playing into the breeze. This is Nuss. Looking for a hand signal from a partner at the net. So searching out Nikki Laird, and her serve reception on that left-hand side. That's where teams have tried to pick apart her serve reception, and that was effective on that occasion.
It's a really tough ball to pass. It's floating away from you outside. You have to pull it back into your partner. That's a much easier one. And a nice easy slide out. Was that touched? No, that was out.
So back-to-back errors from Team Australia, the team of Phoebe and Nikki. You see Phoebe, uncharacteristically, she's been rock solid with that second ball, but that one's just missed the sideline.
So perhaps just lost a little bit of confidence somehow, left it maybe in the timeout bench between sets. The Aussies need to just get their full focus back in.
Look at these scenes. Kirra Beach in the distance.
Some juniors warming up.
Yeah.
We've still got Schools Cup going on. Got a shout out to my son who just made the semi-finals.
Well done.
Balgala boys.
Yeah, the Balgala boys. Good on you. Proud mum as you should be.
As well as the other semi-finalists. In fact, we've got another team as well. Jet Rocker Graham and Adam Fajesh, semi-finalists.
Well done to all of the athletes making it through to whatever stage of your tournament. Great to have you here on SBS. We've got a proud mum on our hands. Mama Bear is roaring here in commentary, as she has every right to be. But it is the USA roaring back to life in the second set. 6-3 with some tough serving at Nikki. Phoebe's going to have to get back on a court, get position. Nikki getting a touch. Here we go. Can Kristen make a play? Phoebe's right there. They've got to transition well here. But the set was not what the doctor ordered. And that'll disappoint Nikki Laird. And that transition ball was right on ahead too, and then the overpass, well, Taryn couldn't believe her eyes. 7-3. So easily could have been 6-4. Those moments in a gold medal match, you've just got to pounce on it.
Well, the Aussies doing what they've done a couple of times, just a little lapse in concentration, not so crisp on their passing, making it really hard for them to side out.
Yeah, they started so brightly in this second set, but they've on the back of some good serving, as you said, Kerry, but that's not their best stuff. So 8-3 now, handy 5-point lead. A bit of a comeback required for the Aussie fans and the Aussie girls. That's better. That's good confidence from Nikki Laird. Hard driven with some authority through the middle.
And that came from a switch of sides too, so Laird being dug a few times on the left, switched to the right and then put the ball away. And both these players have had multiple partners in their beach volleyball career, playing in different events and playing on both sides of the court.
Oh, Phoebe's going to be caught out with that easy roll shot. Just set up, and as we've seen the American girls do a little bit, just digging that first ball straight back over. Kristen alert to the position that the two Aussie girls are right up at the net, and there's a lot of real estate back there when the team is that far out of position. So good match awareness, court awareness from Kristen Nuss. Brings up 9-4 scoreboard. Make that 10-4, and the overpassing has become a real problem now for the Australians in this second set. They are really leaking some points that they won't be pleased about. That's just begging on top of the net for the tall American Kloth. So 10-4 now, USA leading the second set. We've got one more three-set epic on our hands for the gold medal.
Going to Nikki again, Phoebe on two, misses that quite wide, so another error. Somehow the Aussies, Nikki and Phoebe, really need to focus on their touches, the simple stuff.
Yeah, they're really going after Nikki Laird now with the serve. She's not passed as well as she should, but now Phoebe Bell gets it, so they look like they completely lost their structure on that play. And Phoebe this time can't run down the line shot, so boy oh boy, they have really, really lost their way in this second set. The Aussie girls so bright, 21-19 in the first set, but just haven't been able to get that cohesion back in the second, and the USA girls in control at 11-4.
Nice touch. Good touch on the block.
Oh. Ball driven away. Of course, when the blocking player touches it, as Taryn did on that occasion, that's counted as the first touch. That's the second, so she's got to hit that ball. Phoebe and Nikki mid-court, not really in a great defensive posture, so 12-13-4 now. Gosh, the Aussie girls really doing it tough for some reason. And that ball straight back over. Well, that's not going to win the hearts and minds of the Aussie fans, but it's going to win the scoreboard, which is the only place that matters. Look at this. That is a knockout blow from Kristen Nuss.
Right now, the Aussies are really struggling on that first touch. The serve reception. There's another struggle there. Wow, what's happened here? I don't know if the Americans are really using the wind to move the ball around. They're keeping it really deep on the Australians.
Yeah, this is now real danger signs for the Aussies. The serve reception has fallen apart. They just can't get a good serve. That's a better position. Phoebe will hit from a good spot, hits the clean winner. Boy, they needed that, Kerry Cott asked, for 5-15.
They certainly did, but boy, if they've got an uphill battle right now, because we only go to 21, of course. So the Americans got such a big lead. You don't often see teams come back from this big a deficit. But of course, if the Americans, well, if Nikki Laird can do that over and over, she yells out, come on. But still, the dipping heads say it all. The Australians have got a really hard journey in this second set. If they lose this, though, we go to a third, because they did win the first set.
Haven't they? What? We're at the technical timeout, and as uneven a scoreboard as I've seen all week at the technical timeout. USA 15, leading Australia 6. Always worry sometimes when we go into the Aussie girls timeouts if we need to put a parental advisory up.
They're just getting the fluids down. You can see how much sand is all over Phoebe Bell right now. We saw it before, but she's doing everything to keep that ball off the ground. That's why she's completely covered.
Whereas Taryn for the USA team doesn't look like she's got a grain on her.
Well, often as a blocker, well, Nikki has, but often as a blocker, Taryn really, she's up the net, at the net almost all of the time, and she's doing a great job because Australia is really being a little bit too aggressive on the setting, and Taryn's getting a lot of hand on the block.
Isn't she what? So technical time out over. Nikki Laird with the ball, the Australian athlete trailing though by several points. And the out serve is going to make it even harder than making a large hill to climb to get back into this second set. Not saying that they've already put the cue in the rack and they're ready for the third, but it's going to take quite a rebuild to get back into this second set. And that's going to make it even harder. 17 points to 6 now. And the problem with blowing out in a second set like this, Kerry, is it's really going to raise questions about whether they could shake it off in a third and actually come back and play much better volleyball, because it's not super positive at the moment. The Aussies really have dropped a gear. It's Phoebe Bell again, but the set is floated right up again, and it's just time and time again that their little errors, they're putting the ball into the sweet zone for Taryn Kloth, and she gets the first block. Nikki overdoes that pass, and it's sitting there, and Taryn's now just waiting on that, isn't she?
She nearly had another one, but that time Phoebe was able to hit it off her hand. So all the Australians need really here is just to, whatever the score is, finish this match with a little bit more confidence, a couple of really nice touches on the ball, good pass, a couple of good serves. Even if they lose it, going into the third set with some momentum will help.
The block, so another point goes to the team from the USA. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss, Team USA, roaring back into the ascendancy in this second set. They dropped the first one 21-19, but are in control at 19-7, make that 19-8. But for Nikki Laird and Phoebe Bell, gosh, what a mountain to climb they've got. Of course, this team won the Oz Champs last weekend, so they've got plenty of good vibes together as a team. The last tournament they won right here on this court last weekend, the National Championship final. So they're playing some good volleyball, but that's going to be a side change and a 20 points to 8 scoreboard for Taryn and Kristen from the USA. They've got 12 set points, and we look, Kerry Pottast, to be going to 3 sets to decide the gold medal.
Yep, I'm pretty sure, unless something happens to one of the American players.
Like she gets abducted by an alien. It's about the only thing, because it is set point ball.
There we go, Nikki Laird.
1 saved, only 11 remain. 9-20. Haven't seen too much of that in the second set from Nikki. The nice hard middle play. But it is still set point, a whole bunch of set points. Phoebe Bell back to the service line. She's been so good from that spot on the beach too, not just in this match, but all week. She'll get an opportunity. Can we put some more pressure on the team from the USA, she says. We cannot. They have missed cross-court. Wow, so a badly misfiring combination from Australia have dropped the second set. Can you believe that scoreboard?
No,
21 points to 9. That is an absolute beatdown. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss have bounced back in the best possible fashion. And for Nikki and Phoebe, they just look like they lost their way. The volleyball they'd been playing all tournament, all match, deserting them in that second set.
Well, the good things that the Americans are doing, we've got to give them credit as well, is just being solid. I mean, every time the ball was tight on the net, Taryn Kloth was just going for it. She was just too big, too dominant. She was putting the ball in the right spot. Her partner was, you know, giving her the ball on the net to hit in attack, and Australia just made too many errors.
Nikki Laird, the 2016 Rio Olympian, has been going through a journey of recovery, tried to qualify, of course, for the Tokyo Olympics with the gorgeous Bakara Palmer. They came so close. Bakara's now recently retired, and we wish her all the best. And in Phoebe Bell, Nikki's trying to find the right fit to try and get sort of the Paris Olympics, and they played great. So whatever happens in this third set in the gold medal match, bright signs for this combination.
Absolutely. I really love this combination, this Australian combination. They're big, they're strong, they're agile. Just got to find a way to keep that mindset focused, cut the errors out. They've definitely got everything that it takes.
It's a free ball. We are underway in the third set. And Phoebe gets it done. More of that required from the beach volleyball Australian community, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the third set will decide, the women's gold medal will decide the tournament. In the third set, we only played a 15. We'll change ends every 5 points. Australia leading 1-0. Early days to get excited, though. But a better start. A little fakey there from Nikki Laird. She'll get a nice touch. Okay, Phoebe Bell has to put a free ball into play. Oh, what an angle, though. Taryn Kloth had no rights to hit the sideline.
So hard to read whether Taryn's going to actually hit hard or make a shot. She has quite a slow arm. You'll see she's not a big, fast jumper, but she could have just as easily gone over line on that. Really difficult to defend for Phoebe Bell.
100% very effective play. So 1 point apiece, 1 set apiece. Match is fascinating. Here's Phoebe again. She's going to get up and have a swing down the line, I suspect. No, she drags it into the net. Uncharacteristic error from Phoebe Bell, who's been magnificent all week. The defense from Kristen was spectacular as always.
Didn't have enough in her tank to get up after that good defensive play.
Yeah, who could blame it? 2-1, the USA in the lead. This is going to be a fingernail biter, I suspect, all the way to the end. Phoebe gets blocked on her ball. And a net touch called on Nikki Laird. She knew it too. Dropped ahead pretty quickly, so another point to USA. Nikki on transition, and again, that transition setting opportunity, they just keep putting each other in a really bad spot. Almost drew Nicole into the net, so 3-1 Team USA. Consistently chipping away at Nikki Laird on serve. That's a nice play. That'll give us some confidence on the side change. Australia 2, USA 3. The road to 15 points is going to be littered with disappointment and heartbreak for someone. Will it be the USA on the top of the podium, or will it be Australia?
I'm wondering now if the Aussies perhaps should change up the strategy of who they're serving. Perhaps go to Kristen, put some pressure on Kristen Nuss. They're still serving Kloth. And that's what's happening. So hard to read, so easily done. Maybe changing up how they block her, coming off the net a little bit.
Yeah, she's answered most of the challenges thrown at her, certainly in the second set and now into the third. So 4-2, USA on the preferred end of the beach. Serve reception's been a bit of a problem for the Aussies, and that's going to be another one, unfortunately. So 5-2 now. There's so little margin for error in the third set. That 15th point comes up very, very quickly. Wouldn't be surprised if the Aussies don't call a timeout just to release the pressure valve, and they have indeed. So that's clever from the Aussies. They could see a little bit of a trend starting to happen. I like the composure and the experience there from the Aussie girls.
Looks a little bit like the last set at the moment. You know, at this point, you'd be trying absolutely everything. Change up some strategy with your attack, perhaps be a bit louder in celebration, see if you can find some energy vocally.
Or go at the other player from the USA. We've seen so little of Kristen Nuss in serve reception and then attack on transition from it. So first referee Darren Grimsey, he's having a nice time, and I guess that's the main thing. Our officials seem happy. Here come the athletes though, the real stars of the show. That is Phoebe Bell further away from camera, Nikki Laird nearest to camera, the Aussie girls, the #1 seeds, but they are in a dogfight against the USA combination. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss. They go back to Nikki Laird. Set was a good one. Spike was even better. We like that, says the Aussie contingent around the court. Warm applause.
When we see Nikki Laird hitting the ball with such dominance and power like that, that gives her confidence, and that helps the rest of her game. And this time they must have heard us, Jonathan.
Well, well, well. They changed it up, but Nuss was ready and willing and able. So 6-3, this roll shot. Love that little peek that she takes at where Phoebe's going and then responds. So a big point. Changing 6-4 for Bell and Laird to this end of the beach where the Americans are wouldn't be a bad thing, but 7-3 would be a bit parlous. Oh, the nice deep shot. Phoebe's there. Nikki's going to have to play at this ball and plays at it well with the left hand as well. So there's something different, Kerry Potter. Let's go from right-handed to left-handed.
Just trying to keep the ball alive there, both teams. They just make it look so easy, but it's such a difficult sport to play when you've got so much sand to cover.
4 points to 6 now. The Aussies do change. 2 points down, but good end of the beach. A bit of a serving run would be great from the Aussie point of view. This is Nikki Laird staring down the barrel, serving tough, goes at Nuss. Phoebe's there or thereabouts. Can she get a set of some quality? She sure can, but the block, well, that's wonderful. Taryn Kloth stayed in a good position, stayed strong. Phoebe had an opportunity, had her moment. She was a little bit off balance.
Such a beautiful technique, Taryn. All you see are arms and hands spread. Takes the whole ball.
There's another opportunity, Team USA. Oh, and they uncharacteristically can't capitalise. Well, they haven't made many unforced errors like that. Again, on this occasion, it was the transition set from Kloth that wasn't too bad. Just got a little fast, got on the net really quickly. Again, that breeze having a little bit of a say. So a bit of luck, perhaps, for the Aussie girls. 5-7. This is Phoebe Bell, the left-hander. Goes at Nuss again. But the roll shot, sublime down the line. So she's showing no signs of nerves. The shorter American, she gives a few centimetres away to her partner, but playing some great defence. 8-5 now, getting to a really tense part of this match. And once again, the setting from the Aussies has just been left wanting. The American combination not really having to do too much to win these points. Pass wasn't too bad, but look at that ball with heavy topspin on it, just dropping in front of Nikki Laird, and she couldn't really do much with it. So that's a shame. 9-5 now. Nikki again, serve, receive. That's a nice snap, but Nuss's defense was excellent. Phoebe's there. Guts defense from Phoebe. What can she do? They've stayed alive. Another play for the Americans, and they get it done. Well, they are irrepressible at the moment. Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss will change ends at 10-5. They are in control of the gold medal match. They're going to the good end. The Aussie girls are valiantly trying, but cannot find a way to take apart the defense of the American combination. They just seem to have answers for everything.
Certainly do. I'm really impressed with Taryn Kloth. She's just so steady at the net. Makes it look very easy, twisting and turning.
So it is now or never for the Australian combination. They're under heavy pressure. Nikki Laird putting one down hard. We like that. 6 points to 10. What a mountain to climb they've set for themselves at the bad end of the beach, the northern end, with the breeze behind them. So putting that ball down sharp, not easy. Nikki did a nice job of that one. They've got to win nearly every point from this end just to try and get back at level pegging. Women's gold medal match into the third and deciding set. Block from Nikki, that's not bad. Where's that beam?
There we go, exactly. Where's that beam? She liked that one. That's a big point for Australia. That'll give them a lot of confidence. Waited and just swatted that down.
On the trademark Nicole Laird fist pump. We've got a few more surprises. Well, not on that serve. What a great shame. The adrenaline pumping, no doubt, through the body, and she sailed that serve long. So 11-7 now. The team from the USA, Taryn and Kristen. This is Kristen back to the service line in a comfortable but not convincing position yet. Oh, but that's going to make it really, really hard now for the Aussies. Another overpass. And it is Taryn Kloth again, is just hanging around on top of the net and dining out on those overpasses. And for Phoebe, there's so little she could have done with that ball. The Aussie crowd hushed. It has not been what they expected or hoped for. Nikki Laird picked up again. That's a wonderful dig. Phoebe bravely chases the ball down, but it's still in play, and that is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Defense from both teams there. Unbelievable. Players laying out, but to get that one over, great defense here. Pretty good save. and that ball lands in. Oh, it's so deflating for the Aussies.
My goodness, that is absolutely heart-wrenching for the Aussie fans. But at 13-7, Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss have full control of the women's gold medal match. They are 2 points away from their coronation here at Coolangatta Beach. Nikki Laird picked up again. The irrepressible Nuss has been everywhere in defence, and she hits the winner. And the Aussie girls look battered and broken, but they've been brave. But this undefeated combination from the USA, Kloth and Nuss, at 14-7 have got 7 gold medal points to remain undefeated and to win the championship. And it is all over. What a shame for the Aussies, but this team has been remarkable. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss, undefeated across 4 days of match play, are your gold medal winners. They have won the Coolangatta Futures event, and you can see what it means. All credit to the Aussie girls, not their game today, but they've been great as well. Silver medal goes to Nikki Laird and Phoebe Bell.
Well, they will be so happy that they've made the trip all the way from the United States to play here on Coolangatta Beach. Nuss really congratulating her partner for doing such a great job at the net. I think she would have had more blocks in that match than she had almost in the entire tournament. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of this wonderful women's gold medal match. Aussies starting so well, which is point for point here. Many of the touches going the Australians' way. It's a battle of the tall girls at the net. And then Phoebe Bell brings a block out of nowhere, normally in the back court. And then this lady, Taryn Kloth, just dominating the net for the USA. The Australians really struggling in that second set with errors. The Americans just too solid. And then, of course, in the third set, Americans finding the way to keep the ball off the sand and in the court. And the USA take the gold medal here on Coolangatta Beach. There we have it. Went down in the first set, 19-21, came back, absolutely blitzed set number 2, 21-9, and again set number 3, the decider, 15-7. We will be back in a moment. Well, welcome back to the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour here on the Gold Coast. The Futures event, we've just witnessed the women's gold medal match, the USA over Australia. And what a match it was. And Jonathan Fogarty is down on the sand with our athletes.
Very true, Kerry Pothurst. I'm down here with the silver medal winning Australians, Phoebe Bell and Nikki Laird. Phoebe, a great tournament. It wasn't to be yours today, but gosh, you got a lot of positives out of this week, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously wasn't the best end to the tournament, but I'm really proud of myself and Nick, how we got through the tournament to the final.
Nikki, the American girls played really, really well, but so many positives. When you get a chance to sit back and reflect, I hope you find a lot to build on, a lot to be happy about this week.
Yeah, definitely. I think this week has been really good for us to find out sort of the level that we're at, the areas, you know, the holes that we need to plug moving forwards. Unfortunately, I don't think that this afternoon really displayed where our team has gotten to, but, you know, onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards is a good motto. Anyone you'd like to thank when you have this moment for all their help and support?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, it's amazing to have an international beach volleyball event back on Australian sands. So thank you to Volleyball Australia and everyone, Hancock Prospecting, who's involved in keeping this thing alive. Obviously, friends and family, coaches, Joe, physio. I was a bit broke in this event, so I was really lucky to have that support.
Well done, Phoebe. Who would you like to give a shout out to before we say farewell for the summer?
Oh, just shout out to all our friends and family, as Nick said, that came out and supported us. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to both of us.
All right, onwards and upward, ladies and gentlemen. Please thank your silver medal winning team, Phoebe Bell and Nikki Laird. The gold medalists from the USA, we're going to bring them over now. Can you please congratulate the team of Kristen Nuss and, of course, the wonderful Taryn Kloth. I'll get there before the summer is through. To you, wow, you guys undefeated, Taryn. Some great volleyball. We knew you had some good form coming out of the AVP, but not a lot of people had seen you before. Did you catch a few teams by surprise, do you think, this week?
I don't know. I think the entire weather and every single element was used, and that is what surprised every single team this weekend.
Kristen, your defence was exceptional. What did you make of the Australian conditions? Did you enjoy playing here? And what was it, do you think, that really suited your game? Because you were world class this week, and I hope you know that.
Well, thank you, but it's pretty easy.
She's always world class.
We knew that.
Yeah.
No, she makes it right here. This girl, Taryn, right here, makes it pretty easy to play defense behind. I mean, she puts up a hell of a block, so it's just easy to kind of wait, run things down, and just hope for the best.
Who would you like to give a shout out to in this golden glow of victory that you find yourself in today?
My grandparents, Bob and Jane, I don't know where they are, but they flew all the way to Australia to watch us play.
Shut up.
Also, TKN fans at home, thank you so much for watching.
Yes, same. I just got to give a huge shout out to all the support we've had back at home. We definitely feel the love, so thank you.
Well, it's hard to dislike your gold medalists. Well done, Taryn and Kristen. Congratulations. We'll see them at the presentation. Well done, ladies. Congratulations. Well done. I'm going to bring in all the medal winners now. We're going to bring in all the lads as well. All the Aussie teams are going to come in. We're going to bring them together and have a moment. We've got gold in the men's, silver in the ladies. Look at this wonderful crop of fine young men and women that are representing the sport of beach volleyball. Max, no, we'll start with you. 2032 is on the horizon. It's building. Paris is not far away. For Australian beach volleyball fans, there's lots to be positive about, isn't there?
Yeah, well, this weekend has shown that we're working as a massive team here and we're getting medals, and that's what we're aiming to do, is getting Australia on the dais, getting those podium results.
And I couldn't help but notice you guys didn't make the gold medal match, but you were cheering pretty hard for your boys. There's a lot of good unity in both the men's and women's squads, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking for the guys, like, we're training against each other every day, you know, down in Adelaide, so we really have worked to encapsulate that big team mentality, so a result for one is a result for all of us.
Nikki, to you on the ladies' side, there's so much depth, some really good up-and-comers. Great to see people like Britt Kendall back. The women's game is pretty healthy right now in Australia as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first time in a long time that I kind of look around and I see, you know, just a bucket ton of young kids coming through that are really threatening some of us older folk that have been around for a while. So it's really cool for the future.
Glad you said a bucket ton. Wasn't sure where you were going on live TV. We're going to bring in Natalie Cook now. Can you please welcome